welcome back to the Fuel for Thought podcast. I'm Jay. I'm here with
Kevin,
and we're doing our first ever video version of this podcast. So hope you guys enjoy this one, and we're on episode 16 already. So what are we talking about today, Kevin?
we're talking about just wrapping up the local events in Ontario that we've either been to. Well, yeah, we've all been to these. Mostly me. You've been to a few.
Yeah.
And then, just wrapping it up and seeing what happens in the Ontario car scene. If anyone in the audience is in the surrounding area, you can also check these out. And yeah, let's get started.
Yeah, because this is what it's all about, you know, finding local events and finding like-minded people. That's the only way to really let out your true inner car nerd. So
Yes.
yeah. All right, which one do you want to start with? CSCS?
Yeah. So
Okay.
this one is pretty big. It's I would say the biggest reoccurring car show that happens in Ontario. Essentially, it's just a mashup of everything. So you got drag racing, you got time attack, you got grip driving, you got drifting, and you also have two-step battles, and then a car show.
That's crazy. So you have like a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it's really worth. I think the tickets are like $25 or something like that. So it's really worth your money. You get to see everything over just one day.
That's nuts. So it's kind of like we're going to talk about this one, but Drive, it's like similar pricing, right?
About, yeah. I think all of them are about like $20 to $40. Most of them are in that price range, so it's not too expensive. Fortunately, you have to pay. It's just, it makes sense though. These are like private racetracks, and there's a bunch of sponsors, and you know, it has to be feasible for them.
Exactly, yeah. And it's still affordable for most people. And honestly, there is a lot of car shows that are free if you guys are like in a local city, wherever you are. There's typically all kinds of like Cars and Coffee and all kinds of car shows organized by the city. Like we have like Father's Day car show as well.
Yeah.
So there's always free options too. But yeah, so what's your favorite part about CSCS?
So this one, oh man, there was so much. I know you were trying to go, but I think you had something come up last minute. So this one, my favorite thing is I didn't expect, I didn't look at the schedule or anything, and when I got there, I just missed it. So it's the most insane thing. It's a car with a jet engine, like
just a normal car.
Well, it's like not really a car. It's just like a piece of tube, and then there's a jet engine at the back. And I was not expecting it. So first thing that happens when I pull up, I walk through the parking lot, I just hear this it felt like a bomb was going off. It's just like a shock wave and just super loud. Like, what's going on? And then I looked at the schedule, and I just missed the jet car going on the drag strip. And then they did it a second time later in the afternoon, and that thing was insane.
What did it do? What time?
I'm not sure. It's definitely under 10 seconds, maybe 8 seconds. But it is up on our Instagram, so if anyone
check that out,
wants to see it,
at Fuel for Thought _podcast on Instagram.
Yeah,
post some great memes too.
Those are questionable. I try my best, but they're...
Yeah, you've been warned in case you go check it out, but you'll be able to handle it. I know it.
Yeah. So the jet car was insane. It's just straight fireball. It the whole track just smoked out, and I didn't have earplugs, so I was deaf after. I was really close because I really wanted to see it. So that was insane. And then there's a bunch of drifting too. I really enjoyed that. It's not like pro level. It's more beginner, people trying it out. And the highlight was I don't want to throw him under the bus, but he wasn't very good. He was obviously new at drifting, but he managed to flip he was driving a BMW 3 Series. He managed to flip it.
He flipped it drifting?
Yeah.
Did he hit the side or something?
I think what happened is he dropped a wheel in the dirt and then counteracted.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Brought it back and then flipped in the dirt.
Jesus.
And that thing was totaled. I remember seeing on the tow truck, the roof was caved in. The wheels were, yeah.
Damn.
That's the thing about drifting. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, you're already pushing your car to the edge if you're drifting anyway. So
Yeah.
I'm sure for most people, this is either their drift car or a car they don't really care as much about. I would hope, at least.
Yes, most of those cars are beat to shit. They're junkyard cars.
Yeah, it makes sense. But yeah, so CSCS, this was when? Do they do it at the same time every year?
Yeah, July, I think. It's usually around the same time.
In the summertime.
Yeah, and it's I think a 3-day event.
Okay.
So
I mean, that's good. So people have the option to go any of the days.
Because it's pretty far. It's all the way, well, the same place, same racetrack as the LZ World Tour.
Okay,
which we're going to talk about
the
later.
Toronto Motorsports Park, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think, that one's kind of, if you're from the GTA, it's kind of on your way to like, it's between like London and Niagara kind of. Mm-hmm. So yeah, kind of like Caledonia, I think. But yeah, anyway, it's quite a bit of a drive, but definitely worth it. Some cool back roads too. There's a lot of car people going to that, like to the LZ event. That's the one I went to, and just so many people, and just like you know friendly pulls, and it was a lot of fun on those back roads.
I remember driving there. I remember there's a 765 LT like tailgating me, and then he just like on a straightaway just like ripped past me. It was going like probably 250. I was like, this dude's gonna crash. Like this is
insane.
This is a back road.
The balls on some people, eh?
Yeah, and then I just kept seeing him like swerving, passing everyone. So
I respect it.
Yeah, I thought it was great. Like, I mean, the balls on this guy. This is like $600,000 worth of car, and he's just sending it. No care in the world. So big props to him.
Definitely could have turned out like that BMW for sure.
Or getting pulled over, and you definitely lose your license.
Yeah, and probably your car too.
Because for those of you who don't know, who aren't in Ontario, if you go, I think it's 50 over, you get charged with street racing or some BS like that, and you lose your car, it gets impounded, you lose your license, and then your insurance goes all the way up.
I think you can also get like time in prison even. I think it's like 6 months in prison.
Yeah, I mean, they say that, but nobody's gonna like go to jail because of
like speeding.
Yeah,
I would hope not.
Unless you have a really bad lawyer and the cop really wants you arrested for some reason.
Exactly. I will have to start a petition at some point, and all you viewers can help us sign it to get rid of these speed laws here. There's a time and a place, of course, but hey, if it's 4 a.m. on the 401, don't catch me lacking.
Yeah, as long as you're not endangering people.
I feel like
on back roads like that, like really quiet, like there's nothing. It's just farmland.
Yeah,
there's no other cars. The only people going there are for the race car or the racetrack. So like, that may be acceptable, but if you're doing it like in rush hour and you're endangering other people, then
driving in shoulders and into oncoming and stuff, that's a different story for sure.
Yeah, because these people didn't sign up to get hit by a car.
And there's also like people with kids in the car and stuff. Like you gotta know where to stop, but we're all for the shenanigans, but sometimes it goes a little far. Especially here in Toronto, there's some crazy nuts out there. Anyway, is there anything else you want to mention about CSCS or anything that caught your eye from it that maybe made it stand out from other events? Yeah, so there's so I've been looking at F-Type Rs just because I'm trying to upgrade cars, and there's one I didn't know how I felt. I still don't know how I feel about it. So it was an F-Type, the like newest F-Type R, the facelift, but they used a chromatic, the like color shifting, purple to blue to green. They put a wrap on there. I don't know. It doesn't fit the car because the car is like Jagger, like kind of like fancy, exclusive, like rich people, and you put like that tacky wrap on it. So I didn't really like that part, but it had like dope aftermarket wheels. I don't remember the brand, but silver like spokes all around. It was really cool. So that was kind of the highlight of the show and shine is what they call it. Okay. They had a two-step battle, which is that's sick. I've seen those on like Instagram where is it like where they like rev and it's like sounds like gunshots. Yeah. So they had that. It was a competition. The winner got something, and it's so useless. Like it does nothing in terms of it just breaks your engine because it's like revving off the rev limiter. But I gotta admit, it sounds kind of cool. Yeah, exactly. There's probably like what's it called? A Supra. Because they always have one of those. No, it was surprisingly shit boxes. So it was a 350Z
which was like clearly crashed because there was mismatched bumpers and everything. And the one that actually, the car that got the win was a Volkswagen Jetta.
What?
That thing was, I don't know what they did to it.
Like stage 3 or something.
Yeah, something like, it was so loud. Like you had to plug your ears because you can't.
Probably put like a microphone in the exhaust and then put it through like his car speakers or something.
Maybe, yeah. And so yeah, that was the two-step battle. The other thing that I found pretty cool was, as soon as you went in the car show or bought tickets, you got 2 raffle tickets, and you could enter. You just had to like sign your name and put it in, so it was completely free. And a bunch of sponsors came through and were giving stuff to the audience.
Oh, nice.
So they had like wheels, well, not like full wheels. So it was like $2,000 credit towards wheels. Or
That's sweet.
they had suspension, ceramic coating, undercoating. They had tints, and the biggest one, like the top prize, was a whole turbo.
Holy shit.
It was I don't remember the size, but it was essentially
Massive, probably.
Well, I'd say like medium,
Okay.
but it was just a turbo, and they would install it free of charge. So that whole thing was like $5,000.
Jeez.
And I mean, I stuck around because you had to be present in the crowd to get the prize. The issue was like this went on for an hour, like because they couldn't figure it out. They kept picking people that were in the crowd. They kept like, I don't know. They didn't know what they were doing, and it was just kind of awkward. But I stood the whole time because if I win, I'd love to get it.
Obviously.
I would love to have a bigger turbo in my car. That would have been sweet.
Yeah, it's sweet. And what do you drive for the audience that doesn't know?
A 335i, and my car has the N55, so it's already single turbo. So, you know, a bigger turbo.
Pull heaps with that.
Yeah, except it would probably break the whole car because it's
Yeah.
a piece of junk.
Do an ECU upgrade and transmission upgrade, I guess.
Yeah, that's how you get down the rabbit hole.
Exactly.
It's like, okay, I got a turbo.
Spend as much as an actual like expensive car at the end.
Yeah. So maybe it's better I didn't get it. I can just upgrade cars instead.
Yeah, exactly.
But the cool thing was the person who won the turbo. It was a girl, and she has a sick car. So it was S2000, and she's like,
Yo, no way.
yeah, S2000 lowered, pretty neat. And she's like, I am putting that thing on tomorrow.
And those are NA too, so
Yeah.
putting that on there, that'd probably rip like crazy.
So I'm glad it went to a person that actually cares about cars
yeah, I
and is going
agree.
to put it to use instead of, you know, someone who drives a minivan just like, oh, I'm here because my child wants me.
Yeah,
And it's like,
exactly. They don't have any use for it, or they just sell it or something.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's sweet.
So that's pretty much all I had for the CSCS. It was a great time. I definitely recommend people go check it out because it's well put together. It's been going on for, I think they said like 20 years. This is the 20th year they put it on, so they know what they're doing.
Yeah, that's always nice when they're established. They kind of know what's going on, and they, you know, it's not just kind of like a shit show where it's like a one-time thing. That was kind of more so the LZ event, in my opinion. Kind of didn't really know what was going on half the time. Not really a true schedule or like announcements to let you know what was going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. What's the next event here?
So this one it's legendary. If you're in the GTA area, you probably heard of this. So this guy, his name is Tim, but he goes by Happy Hippie. That's his slogan on Instagram and all socials. And he really, it's so weird. He's literally a hippie. He's like, if you look at him, he's like wearing like, he's got a long beard, a bandana. He's got like this hippie stuff, like kind of what I'm wearing.
Yeah, like the tie-dye stuff too.
Yeah, exactly. So he's a multi-millionaire, which you never assume looking at him. And he does this cool thing every year where he essentially just opens his like where he lives. He's got a bunch of barns, and it's really this weird, interesting thing. He's really into collecting stuff, and he built his own town. So there's like barns, but within the barns there's like barber shops, and
What?
it's all old school, and it's really cool. I like it. It's interesting. Like the amount of money he spent building this thing, it's literally not functional, but
Yeah.
it's literally for his own memorabilia.
That's really interesting. Yeah, you don't really see stuff like that too often.
Yeah, it's very unique. And what he does is just opens his property, lets people go through, see the cars, see all the things he's collecting. You have to pay. It's I think $25 a ticket, and it all goes to charity
Nice.
of his choice. So really good cause. You're supporting a cause, and also you get to see cool cars.
That's a double win.
Yeah.
Unless the charity is his pocket that he's named a holding company.
No, he does a lot for charities. I remember you were there too. The
Yeah.
Drive Festival.
Yeah.
He was handing out, what was it, like animal things against animal cruelty, like
Yeah.
himself. Like
He's very active in the community.
Yeah.
That's very clear.
he gives back a lot, and
It's
that,
pretty cool.
I
Definitely in
respect
hippie
that.
spirit, you know.
Yeah,
That's
peace
sweet.
and love, like respect everyone.
Yeah, but yeah, what really stood out to me was like the type of cars in his collection. It's not just like, you know, he's got a cool BMW, he's got a cool Ferrari, you know, like at Driven last year. Was it Driven or
Mhm.
Drive, whatever it's called? That he brought a Bugatti Chiron to it, and that's his daily driver, believe it or not.
I think he holds the record for the most kilometers on a Bugatti in the world.
It's pretty crazy if you think about it.
Yeah, he's got something like 36,000 kilometers.
Yeah,
Which-
that's insane.
I mean, if you think about it, like, I think an oil change alone is $10,000 to $20,000. So he's putting a lot of money into that car.
100%, and even just like the tires and stuff too, right? Like I think a set of tires is like 15K or something.
Yeah, I think what he did is he got aftermarket rims on his car so he can change, like, go for probably cheaper tires.
That's smart.
So it looks cooler, but also it's cheaper to rotate every
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, exactly. Not to mention the amount of gas he has to pay and the
Yeah.
insurance cost.
Yeah,
That's probably like 10 grand a month alone.
yeah, that's insane. Like, props to him though. It makes no financial sense, but he just does it because he wants to.
He just said fuck it, honestly. He just wanted to do it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Respect that. So yeah, is there anything else with that event? Like, is it, so you go to his place, you see his cars, you see like his area where he lives and everything. Is there anything else that he does at these events?
Not really. It's just looking at his cars, looking at what he has. The highlight for me, the whole reason I went, is he's got, like, definitely one of the most unique collections, but he's also got the coolest hypercars. So he has a Carbon Series McLaren P1, which
Shit, that's crazy.
so this is pretty cool. McLaren did the P1s. It's a limited number, like 300, 350, whatever it is. And then after selling every allocation, a couple years later, they decided to do the Carbon Series. So they would take your P1, remove all the body panels, and then put it back together with like all carbon fiber,
That's
whole
crazy.
car. So initially they were supposed to do 20 allocations, but I don't know exactly what happened. Maybe people weren't willing to pay because this apparently cost like 200,000
Really?
to do.
Just
So on top of the 1.2 million or whatever it is for the car, then you pay another 200,000, maybe more, to like swap all the body parts and all that. So it's a lot of money. Like,
that's, yeah.
you can buy a whole new Ferrari for
That's what I
for that
mean.
much.
Like, that's a, you know, I feel like people like that just kind of lose sight of how much money that is at that point. They're just like, what's another 200K?
Yeah. When you're like multi-millionaire, like whatever, 200K, that's pocket change.
It's just a couple pennies for you, you know?
Yeah, but as we saw, they reduced it from 20 to 5 units, so there's only 5. So maybe people weren't willing to pay for it.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
So that's pretty interesting. And then, so the car is full green carbon fiber, which is, I don't know if I've ever seen full green carbon
Me either.
fiber. I've seen
Green, I
red,
haven't seen.
purple, but yeah, green is, and it works very nicely.
Yeah, it looks really nice. I think it was at Drive as well, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got to see it at Drive
It
too.
looked pretty insane. I think the second time I saw a McLaren P1, and man, those things look so sick.
Yeah, and my favorite part is the wheels.
Yeah,
he
me
went
too.
with chrome Vossen wheels, and it just, because, so this is not his original car. He bought it from Monterey Auctions or something like that, So initially it had green rims, and it just looked too weird. It was just like green on green and didn't really tie in together. But the chrome wheels just made this car. Like, it just looks insane. Like,
It does look really good. I'm looking at a photo of it right now. We'll
Yeah.
post it on Instagram as well so you guys can see.
Mhm.
But such a cool spec. I really like that. And I'm a big fan of like the whole green thing, you know? Like the
Yeah.
green and the chrome. That looks so good.
yeah, and then full white leather interior. And the cool thing, which is very unique and like one of one, is the fact that he got the whole, well, the original owner, not Happy Hippie, got the whole team, like whole McLaren MSO team, to sign the engine bay.
That's insane.
And yeah, it's like, it's cool because the people that worked on the car and like helped
Signed it.
design,
Yeah, that's so
it's
sick.
like their names on there, like
Yeah.
their stamp of approval. So that's pretty cool. And then the even cooler part is he's got a McLaren Senna, so the newest hypercar from McLaren,
Yeah.
in the same spec. So full green carbon fiber, silver rims, and then full white interior.
Do they offer that from the factory for the Senna? Or was that also kind of a 200K aftermarket thing?
So they did do full carbon fiber body, but you had to go through MSO. So
Okay.
MSO is like McLaren Special Operations, which is kind of the ad persona of Lamborghini. It's like you go through them when you want to extra customize your car.
Right. It's like the extra like customizations, I guess.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. Like, they charge a lot. So this Senna, like, probably cost a lot of money. So yeah, it's pretty similar spec. It's insane to see them together.
Yeah. Especially side by side because they're two of the most iconic McLarens ever made. If
Yeah.
only he had an F1 in that same spec. Can you imagine?
That'd be insane, but they never did carbon body.
Exactly. I guess he'd have to like do it aftermarket or something. But,
Yeah.
And with that same green, I don't even know if that's possible with the green.
I don't know if it'll look good though, because like I feel like these two are like very sleek, very low to the ground, whereas the
Futuristic.
F1 is
Yeah.
like very bulky and very high up.
That's true.
So yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah. Or even if he just had one for comparison, it would kind of be like the 3 generations kind of thing.
Yeah.
Be kind of sweet.
And then the Chiron, as we mentioned, full red carbon fiber, silver wheels, and a full red leather interior. Looks insane.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And I love the plate. It says funds are low because it makes sense. You know, you
Yeah.
buy a Chiron.
We just talked about this, like how expensive it is to drive, and he just dailies this thing. He could daily any of his cars, but he dailies this one,
a Chiron.
which is pretty crazy.
That's a flex.
That is literally a flex, yeah.
The unfortunate news is both the P1 and the Senna are currently for sale. So this really was my last time or last chance to see these, because they're probably gonna go somewhere in the US
That's
or
true, yeah.
UAE or something. So we're probably never gonna see these again. So I was really glad to see them and yeah, get it off my bucket list. The one thing I found interesting though, the P1, he bought this thing at auction for 1.8 million in 2016, and currently it's for, and this is 1.8 USD,
Oh, okay. Oh, shit.
and currently it's selling for 2.5. So it almost feels like it's losing value.
Interesting. Yeah, I wonder why he would do that.
Yeah,
Or if he maybe just price it to sell, maybe.
actually no, I got those wrong. So right now it's 2.1 million.
Yeah, so he's selling it for 400,000 Canadian less than he bought it for.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I find that weird because it's
Yeah.
1 of 5, really 1 of 1, because no other P1 is in green carbon fiber, and it's selling for less than what he bought it for. And we're seeing, I don't know, we're seeing P1s going for a lot more today. So I find that interesting.
Yeah, me too. It seems like, I mean, it could be anything, but I feel like it's almost like he's in a pinch. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
He's got these cars for sale under market prices, and maybe he realized that driving that Chiron was such a good idea after all.
Yeah, a lot of his cars are for sale. I think he's got a Rolls Royce. There's rumors that the Chiron's being sold. I haven't seen it listed anywhere, so maybe he's keeping it, maybe he's not.
Yeah.
I want to quickly cover like other highlights that I thought were cool. He has a OG Ford GT, like the 2005 2000.
The one used at Le Mans or the other one?
No, like
The older. Okay.
the remake.
The remake. Okay.
Yeah, the manual supercharged V8.
Oh, okay.
The wheels that he's got on it, not good, but the car itself is cool. Another one that I feel goes unnoticed. It's a Porsche Turbo S, but it's the Turbo S exclusive, which is only like one of 200 or something, or 150. So Porsche did this on the older models, and it was like a very exclusive model which had all the boxes ticked off, all the options ticked off, and you had to be kind of a well-known Porsche buyer to get them in that location. And they just did a limited number car. It's the same thing as Porsche does. It's kind of the same as a Turbo S, just more options and limited.
And then just charging a crap ton extra.
Yeah. The wide body Cullinan was sick. So it's Cullinan with a wide body, which I think that one was owned by Drake.
Oh, really?
Previously owned by Drake.
It's definitely one of his music videos then.
Yeah. And then to me, the best spec STO, Huracan STO. You saw it too.
Yeah, it's so sick.
The purple, so it's like full purple and then white wheels and like the livery and stuff.
It's pretty sweet.
That was cool. And then there's a bunch of like old school classics, including a school bus, which he calls Cool Bus, and it's like slammed with a big V8, and that looks crazy.
He's just having a good time, honestly, and that's what I really like about him. He doesn't give a shit. He's like, you know what? I like cars. Listen, I'm just gonna look for the coolest gems and drive them, pimp them out, have a good time. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's clearly passionate about it, and you could see there's a whole wall of like old pictures, like physical pictures.
Yeah.
And you can see like from a teenager, he was already into cars. He's got like, I mean, he didn't have money back then, so he was like rocking some old beaters, but it's just cool to see like the progression, like going through money, and then I think his first supercar was a Dodge Viper, like the first RT10.
The one that kills you.
Yeah, the one in our previous
episodes.
So it's just cool to see like his whole life has been cars.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. Like how you can see that like glow up. You know, hopefully one day our viewers and us will have that as well. But yeah, that's sick. What else?
Now we hop into a show that you've been, so you can talk about this one. You know about this one.
Yeah, I've missed more than I've been to. It seems like here. But the drive show, so this was at Canadian Tire Motorsports Speedway. So that's all the way on the east end, past Pickering. It's like towards, what's that city called? Kingston.
Yeah.
So it's like towards Kingston. It's about an hour and 15 away from Toronto. So yeah, not a super long drive, definitely closer than Toronto Motorsports Park, but this event was probably my favorite. We went 2 years in a row now, so we've been to two drive shows. There's every year it's a little bit different. They have obviously some similarities. It's on the same track. There's some similar cars, but there's always like things that change, which is pretty sweet. This year, me and Kevin, we went in. Was it a Kia, an electric Kia?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had these 0 to 100 launches in this electric Kia. I think it did 3.1 seconds to 100.
3.2.
3.2.
And it's actually on our Instagram, and surprisingly did well for.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
For a Kia, yeah, but that's pretty crazy, that power, like just this sheer speed you felt, which was pretty cool that you could try that out. So just like these drivers that would take you and get to experience that, which is sweet. And the line wasn't super long when we went, so we got lucky with that.
I think we showed up a bit early because when we were leaving, the line was pretty big.
That's true, yeah. So we might have just gotten in a bit early. But other than that, there's like awesome like free stuff you can get there. There's some really cool cars. This year I saw like a brand new like Audi S8, which I rarely see because I have an S8 myself. So cool to see like the newer ones. And this one was like slammed, obviously on bags because that's how they come with some sweet wheels. There's like 10 million Corvettes.
There was a lot of them.
A lot of Corvettes. And then they have like these like sessions on the track every year where it'll kind of have this like schedule, and every slot in the schedule will be like a different like genre of cars, I guess. So it'll be like American classics, so like American muscle, or hypercars was one of them. So it's pretty sweet. We'd like kind of walk around and explore stuff between the events, but then once the events came, we'd like go to the track and check out as they ripped by, and obviously take like 10,000 videos.
Yeah.
But no, it was cool. What was your favorite part?
I think I have so much respect. So this is 2 years in a row now. I don't know the year before if that was happening, but there's a guy that's crazy enough to bring his LaFerrari on the track.
Yeah.
And it's not like, you know, I mean, this guy's loaded. He has, so he does multiple rounds. There's like usually, you know, sections. So group of Ferraris, and then it's going to be Ford, and then it's going to be Porsche. And I think he has all of them. So he does LaFerrari a few laps, then he'll jump in his Ford GT, do a few laps. He's got 2 of them, I think. One's like a full race car, the Ford GT, the non-street legal, and then he's got the normal one. And then he'll just hop in his Porsche GT2 RS, or I don't remember what he has, and then do a few laps in there.
It's insane. He's just on the track all day.
Yeah, and like huge respect to this guy, like tracking your LaFerrari. I love that.
You need some balls for that, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it was what was it? I think it was a GT3. Remember, we just heard it like go past a couple laps, and all of a sudden you just heard like a huge squealing sound.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Something was wrong. There's no, I think it was a McLaren 720S.
Right, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, something was definitely up with that car.
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, typical McLaren reliability falling apart on the racetrack.
Yeah. Sounds about right. But yeah, no, it was a really cool event. They also have these like bridges to get over the track, which is kind of cool. So it's kind of like a little hillside where you can watch. But the cool stuff is actually above that hill. When there's like all these, there's literally 1,000 more cars, and that's also where we saw Happy Hippie that first year. I don't think he was there this year.
He brought his STO.
Oh, he did. Okay, but I don't think he actually had like a stand this year, right?
No.
Okay,
not this year.
But yeah, there's just like all these sweet cars, like obviously our favorites too. There's like an 812 Superfast. There is a Murcielago. I think there's a Superliga as well, right? Or no? Or was it just a normal?
Normal. I think it was a Balboni edition.
Right, that's what it was. Yeah, so they had like all kinds of cool like unicorn cars, which is pretty sweet. We even saw the new, was it Koenigsegg or Pagani? I can't remember.
Pagani Utopia.
Yeah, the Pagani Utopia. That was so sick to see. And just some crazy cars. What was that really cool like Porsche 959 edition? It was like the remake.
The Singer Turbo DLS.
Yeah, the Singer. Yeah, so Singer is so cool. Like I think I've seen it on Top Gear before as well, where they have like those. I think it was an older episode, but they had like a Singer Porsche on there, and so cool how they would do that. And they have like a 959 edition, which looked ridiculous. That's probably one of my favorites by far. And they also had Koenigseggs. They had like even like race bikes. They had Ducatis.
I don't think there was a Koenigsegg, unfortunately.
Oh, wasn't this year?
No, well, I've never seen one.
Okay, maybe I'm confusing it with the Pagani. But anyway, just like a lot of hypercars and stuff, which is sweet. There's a 918 there as well.
Yeah.
Up there in the stands. So, yeah, super cool. And that area was kind of, I feel like, a little bit less explored. Like, people knew it was there, but kind of stayed around the track, it seemed like. So, it was a little bit less busy. And I feel like a lot of people might have missed it, too. So, definitely cool. And, another good thing, you could see people coming off the track as well. To kind of come off the track and kind of drive up there to park, and then you could kind of obviously hear them. Some would rev, and then it was a pretty sweet spot.
Yeah, and the best part, there's a bunch of free stuff.
Yeah, of course, and then a bunch of spinners and stuff with like I think we got a Mobil One hats, right?
Mobil One hat. We got beer koozies from Volkswagen.
Right.
We got free NOS.
Yeah, free NOS. I always got to down 2 cans of that. Yeah, that was I think the event I enjoyed most. I think it's one of the few I went to. But
yeah, and of course, the ongoing debate between us. There's a bunch of like vendors who sell like diecast car models. They're so cool, but so expensive.
Yeah, they're like what, $400?
So the big ones, the 118 scale is like, I mean, we want the SVJ, which is like $400, and then even the small ones, like I saw a really nice one. It was a G-Wagon, and that was like $70.
Yeah,
Like
I mean they're cool, but it's like can't drive this thing.
I mean, it's such a big step up because it's the size of a Hot Wheel. So Hot
Exactly.
Wheel's like $2,
Yeah.
and then the other one's $70. It's like,
Yeah, it's a
dude.
bit of a stretch, honestly. Like, it's like what 35 times markup. It's a little excessive.
Yeah, so pretty crazy, and I don't know if it's worth it.
No, I don't know either. But at least, hey, they have all kinds of stuff though. So even if you're kind of tired of looking at cars, which I don't know how you'd ever be tired of that, but you can go and check out other stands. You can go look for free stuff. There's food vendors as well. So plenty of stuff to do.
Yeah, so definitely worth it. And I think there's like early bird price or pricing, so it ends up pretty cheap.
Yeah, it ends up being pretty good. And they usually have specials as well if you bring more people or if you buy like a 1-day pass. So yeah, definitely check that out. All right, what's our next one?
So the next one, this was just a quick car show that I went to, but I really liked it. So it's a fundraising event. So in Burlington, they do a car show, or I think the drivers have to, like, if you bring your car, you have to donate to charity, and then the public can also donate. But the turnout was insane. So I think my favorite car was a F8 Tributor Spider, which itself is a nice car. But this thing was all black, like fully blacked out, taillights blacked out, windows tinted, and I think it was lowered because it was pretty slammed, and on aftermarket wheels, also black. And then my favorite part, red interior.
Ooh, with the all black, that goes hard.
Yeah, so that thing was insane. Like, if I had to pick a car, I think I would have taken that.
That's a sweet looking thing too. Like, it looks so futuristic. Like, and then if you see it literally looks like a spaceship or like a Batmobile.
Yeah, so for me, like, the 458, I love the 458. The 488, I'm not a fan. I think it looks funky, and then the F8 is amazing.
Yeah.
So I think Ferrari, like, kind of picked the ball up again and redeemed themselves from the 488. So that was the highlight of the show. There's also a twin turbo R8, which was pretty cool.
Those are sick.
Like, brand new R8, like the latest model, twin turbo, and I think the plate was like great, like GR8 R8 or something like that. I don't know, some play on that, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I like when they have custom plates. It's kind of always our fun thing to do. We always just look at plates.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely gotta get on that.
Some good ones. Let me know what you guys think, but I want to murder up my S8 and put like S8 and then tan, so it's like Satan but with like S8. If you're religious, I'm sorry, but like it would look cool, right? Like, you just have a blacked out long executive business class saloon, and then it's got a Satan plate.
Yeah, I wonder if that would get approved though.
That's a good point.
Because they have to approve every plate. That's why you can't just put like fuck on your plate.
That would be pretty cool. I'm curious if that would be something that would fly under the radar or not. Depends on who you get, I guess.
Well, you have to do it online, so I'm sure they have some system that like scans for bad words or something.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know if it would be classified as that, but anyway, something we can try at a later time.
Yeah. So a couple others, we had Ford GTs, which I don't really like. A McLaren Elva, which is cool. It's one of, I think there's less than 100 in the world.
Really?
It's just there's no roof, there's no windshield. It looks weird.
Oh yeah, one of those weird concept looking things.
Yeah, but it's an actual
real,
production car. It's worth millions. I don't think it's worth it, but someone owns it. There is a Spyker C8, which is from
my home country of the Netherlands.
Yeah,
the only car that actually produced its decent.
It's pretty cool though. I love how it looks exactly like a plane. Like, everything on it is just,
it's like
vibes.
What's it called? Like aeronautics inspired or whatever. You got like even like the dials in it.
Yeah.
Are like from like a plane, like the altitude measuring dials and stuff.
And that's the one. The one that I saw, the C8, I think has the Audi V8.
Oh right,
from the
yeah.
R8.
The 4.2.
Good engine. It's just, it looks a bit funky sometimes. Like,
yeah.
You have to be. You have to know what you're looking at.
Exactly.
If you don't know, it just looks.
It doesn't
weird.
make any sense. It just looks weird.
Yeah. The other, I think, coolest thing is, I'm pretty sure this the SF90 that I saw is the highest spec SF90 in the world.
Really?
It's, yeah, so custom paint. It's the, I don't know, it's some like goldish yellow, full red interior, which I don't know how I feel, like white on, or yellow on
Yeah,
red.
it's
It's like
an interesting match.
kind of like McDonald's spec, which is weird.
Should be his plate, MCDO.
Yeah, but yeah, like fully specced out. I think this thing is 800,000 or maybe more.
Damn, that's insane.
And then the last one was an old Cam Viper, which I think I have on film. I'll try to upload it
Yeah,
on our
you definitely
Insta.
should.
But yeah, it was cool. And then some free stuff. I got a stress ball that's like in the shape of a car, which is pretty cool.
You can destroy a car when you're sad.
Yeah. And yeah, this one usually happens early September. So if you guys are wondering, and also this is like completely free. So that's pretty cool.
Nice, yeah. It's a charity event, right?
Yeah, charity. So you can donate if you want to, but you know, it's in a parking lot. You just walk around and
Okay.
leave. So you don't need to register for anything.
And check all that stuff out, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, last one?
I
Or we have two
believe
more?
so. Yeah, this is
Nice.
the last one.
All right.
The cream of the crop.
The creme de la creme. The LZ World Tour. And
Yes.
we were lucky enough this actually came to Toronto because, I don't know, do you know how many he did? How many shows or how many he's planning to do?
I think he did 2 or 3 in the US, 1 in Australia, 1 in Ireland, and then he picked Toronto.
Yeah,
for some
of
reason.
all places, the
Yeah.
Don't Be East. No, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. No, but it was pretty cool. I used to watch him a little bit. My brother and Kevin really watched a lot of his videos and stuff like that. Adam LZ, that is, on YouTube if you're not familiar. But yeah, he held this world tour this year. Do you know if there's like a specific reason why he did that, or just to like get more people involved in drifting and stuff?
So this became an idea last year. He was just so he's friends with like a bunch of famous YouTubers, and they were doing a lot of drifting events and all that. And then like the audience was like, well, we want to go to it, right? We
Yeah.
want to attend these events. Like you guys are having fun. Why not open it to the public? So they decided to kind of make a business out of it. And they hired this team to kind of organize everything. They're called Drift Games, Drift Games, and that's who's responsible for bringing the drivers, taking care of the logistics and all that. And yeah, they just charge you for a lot of money, which I think came out to like $65 a ticket.
Oh shit! Yeah, it ended up being a lot. Yeah, because there's like a fee, and then it was in US dollars for us as well.
Yeah, that's the part we didn't see.
You got a crappy Canadian currency. That's great.
Yeah, because we initially thought it was like 40 a ticket, but then when you check out, it turns out it's in USD. So
Yeah, and to be completely honest with you, it was not worth the money. Not that money. It was cool, but the tickets should have been the same as Drive, I think. Like $25, that's a fair price. It was also very unstructured, which I found was kind of iffy. Like there wasn't a lot of, it was cool. There was a lot of drifting. There's quarter mile stuff, but other than that, there's no like announcements saying like what events are going on or anything like that. Just kind of a bit unorganized, I found.
I'm kind of torn. Like I really liked it because at the same time, this was not part of the event, but the drag strip is open and they're doing runs. So in between battles, you could go to the drag strip and watch, cars fly down the strip. And they also had like show and shine, a car show. So it was cool.
Yeah.
You had stuff to do in between battles. The one thing I will agree with you on that is I don't know why, but like they have announcements, but the speakers are just like in one little spot. So for the VIP, so if you're not part of the VIP, which was over $100,
Yeah.
you couldn't hear what was going on. So unless you knew who was driving what car, you didn't know what the battle was.
Exactly. Yeah, that was kind of the main thing that kind of sucked.
Yeah, and you didn't know, like, unless you watched the videos before the live stream, you didn't know what the position was, who's in the lead, who's what's going on, because they also do call out challenges, which is, it's not part of the race, it's just for fun to like warm the crowd up during breaks. But then when you're in the audience, you don't know what's going on. Like, is this a real battle, or is this just a call out battle?
Exactly.
Or
it was
a
cool
warm-up?
though. Like it was kind of a bit tough to see though too.
Yeah.
You're just kind of just spread around like a big fence, and it was like pretty limited the amount of track available space.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm 5'9". I had a bit of trouble seeing, so that wasn't great.
Yeah, I was chilling for
Yeah.
most of the time. But I will say, the crowd was insane. Like, so many people. I don't think he was expecting that many people,
No.
because it felt like it was set up for a smaller crowd.
Yeah.
Like, we had good visibility spots, but then they were just like packed. Like, you had, I don't know, 4 rows of people trying to see this one corner. So, you know, you kind of had to like look over each other.
It was
and,
a bit of a bit of chaos, honestly.
yeah, for sure. But
Still cool.
I'm sure he made loads of money.
Yeah.
Because, and hopefully, the thing I'm telling myself is like, the turnout was good. Clearly, Adam made money. All the YouTubers that came made money. Drift Games made money. So it gives them incentives to maybe do more stuff in Canada. They're
Let
like,
'em
it's a
open, yeah.
viable market. Like, let's explore options here. So that's kind of what I'm hoping comes out of this. More, maybe not Adam, but maybe other YouTubers start doing events in Canada, because I feel like US market is where most famous YouTubers are,
Yeah.
and sometimes they don't see the Canadian market as being viable and making
Yeah.
financial sense.
I mean, for the most part, it's not, but
Well, we kind of showed
turning
him.
into it.
Yeah, we kind of showed him this
Yeah.
year. Like,
I mean, it's like Toronto, Vancouver. That's really it. And for the rest, it's
Yeah.
just dead space. But hey,
Yeah.
we got 2 markets. If you hear that and you're a US, this is where it's at.
exactly. So yeah, that was cool. The other YouTubers that were there, we had Jimmy Oaks. He put down a show. That's the guy that, remember, like spun out and then
Oh,
like
yeah.
came and drifted like right in
That
front
was
of
insane. It
us.
was probably like 10 inches from the wall.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
it was nuts.
we all got like rubber just like
Yeah.
sprayed on our face, like
Not
couldn't
even just
breathe.
smoke. It was like little pieces of rubber that like flew into the crowd. It was nuts.
Yeah, so
That was
again,
pretty cool.
A video is up on Instagram if you want to check that
Yeah, I'll
out.
check that out for sure.
I was like dodging hot rubber, like I was filming, but also like dodging,
Choking
like,
on
oh,
the
shit,
smoke.
like-
Yeah.
So that was probably the highlight. That was
Yeah, that was
insane.
cool. I forgot about that actually. But yeah, no, that was sweet.
Yeah, and then a cool thing, this was just in the crowd. We had the like JDM trio, like the Dream Trio. So there was clean RX-7, Supra, and R34 GTR, just at the back of the lot. I got lucky to get it on video. I'll again post it on Insta, and for some reason they're all from Quebec. So
Crazy.
they probably drove in from Montreal, which is like a 5-hour drive in those cars to make it to the car show. That's dedication. And then another cool thing was a similar car to mine, the white on red 35i, but this guy was in manual, which
shit.
I would have loved to
That would be cool.
have that, but I got him on Insta, so maybe we can meet up for some hooning.
That'd be crazy. Yeah. Anything else?
No.
Cool.
That's pretty much it.
All right, so that was a long ass rundown of the events happening in Ontario, but we swear this is like probably some of the best events you can go to. If you go to all of these, you're gonna have a great time. You're gonna see some crazy cars, have some good laughs, have some free stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, let us know what events you guys know of that maybe we don't, or are in the surrounding area. It doesn't even have to be in the GTA. Maybe like Niagara, or maybe other car shows you know of. Let us know for sure. But yeah, if there's nothing else, we can see you guys in episode 17.
Yep, that's
Cool.
it.
All right, guys. See you later.
Goodbye.